The nursing home is peacefully located in the middle of rural Texas, where everything passes slowly and quietly. Although the surrounding scenery is still green, the atmosphere here is full of loneliness and tediness. The camp's rooms, which were filled with laughter and happy stories, were now shrouded in heavy silence. Residents, mostly older adults, are barely motivated to engage in daily activities. Rare smiles appeared on their faces, but then quickly faded, replaced by blank, distant eyes. Although doctors and nursing home staff are dedicated to caring for the physical health of the elderly, they realize that maintaining the mental well-being of the elderly is a big challenge. Bland conversations and exercise sessions become meaningless when one's heart is too tired. Every day passes the same, and no one seems to see the joy in the simple things of life anymore. The old people are communicating less and less with each other. No one is interested in telling old stories. No one is smiling when they see each other. Noticing that the situation was getting worse, the management of the nursing home decided to try a new, completely different method, bringing in a therapy pet to help residents find joy in life again. After a period of searching, they decided to choose a small, cute pig that had been trained to help reduce stress and bring joy to the elders. The pig, with its soft fur and round eyes, will be a new hope for the nursing home. The day the pig was brought in, the atmosphere in the camp was a little turbulent. The people in the camp were curious and didn't know what to expect, but there were also some suspicious eyes. Some old ladies and old men looked at each other, shaking their heads slightly because they did not understand this method very well. They feel, perhaps, animals can't make a difference in their lives. But when the little pig began to walk through each room, the atmosphere in the farm suddenly became different. The eyes of the old people gradually brightened, and hesitant smiles appeared on their lips. They had never seen such an adorable pig, and for the first time in months, they felt a little warmth in their hearts. Buddy, the little pig, is more than just a cute animal. It quickly became a friend, an invisible source of comfort to the camp residents. People who hadn't talked to each other for a long time began to smile when they saw Buddy. Old ladies like Mrs. Grace, who lived in distant memories, began to recount stories of her youth raising pigs on the farm. Men like Mr. Harris, who had retreated into a shell of loneliness for so many years, now began to sit close to Buddy, caressing him, and for the first time in a long time they felt more relieved. The little pig, without words, brought a new wave of love and joy, making the whole nursing home seem to come back to life. The day the little pig, Buddy, was brought into the nursing home, the atmosphere in the camp seemed to change immediately. The first is the curious eyes of the residents, who cannot yet fully understand the presence of a pig in their environment. Some people can't help but be skeptical, saying that this is only a temporary method and cannot help their morale much. But as soon as Buddy walked into the first room, the magic began. The little pig, although only a few months old, was very bold, walking everywhere, his nose smelling everything around him, his eyes shining brightly. The whole nursing home, though no one had spoken, watched its every move, and in their eyes something was awakened. The pig, although unable to say a word, made everyone feel like a little joy was returning to them. The old ladies and grandfathers, who used to live quietly with sad memories, now smile involuntarily when they see Buddy's cuteness. An old woman, Mrs. Grace, who had hardly ever spoken to anyone, suddenly spoke up, hesitating. "It's like the pigs I used to raise when I was young." That voice, soft, was enough to get everyone's attention. It was the first time in months that the old woman had told a story and started telling stories about the old days when she was living on the farm. Buddy's presence provided a bridge for her and others, recalling joyful moments, sweet memories that time had inadvertently forgotten. Buddy not only makes older people happy, but also brings them together. The old people, who used to hardly talk to each other, are now starting to exchange stories about this cute animal, asking each other about its care and habits. The story becomes natural, as if something simple but has miraculous powers, changes the atmosphere of the nursing home. Buddy has become not just a little pig, but an invisible bridge to help residents find joy in the last days of life. When the pig runs through the rooms, sometimes stopping to say hello to someone, people begin to realize that joy can come from very simple things, like a stroke, a smile, or just the presence of a wordless creature. The whole nursing home seems to have one more reason to be more alive and hopeful. Buddy, even though he was just a small pig, brought a wave of love, making the hearts of the elderly here light up again. Pig Buddy began to make a noticeable impact on the morale of the residents of the nursing home. Every time it passed, bright smiles appeared on faces that were already faded with emotion. The old ladies and grandfathers, who had not been involved in camp activities for a long time, now happily chatted and took care of Buddy. Every time the pigs stopped, the eyes of the old people lit up, and stories from the past suddenly flowed. Mrs. Grace, with trembling hands, gently stroked Buddy's soft fur, and she told of the time she raised pigs while she was on the farm. Memories that seemed to have been forgotten came back to life, making her feel like she had returned to the good old days. Mr. Harris, who had been quiet and withdrawn, also began to change. He used to sit alone in the corner of the room, occasionally looking out the window with a tired expression, but now, when he saw Buddy running around, he couldn't hide his excitement. One morning, as Buddy ran closer, Mr. Harris bent down gently and began to talk to him by chance, but it was a sign of a great change in him. In the mornings that followed, he often waited for Buddy, and then soft conversations began to be exchanged between him and the other residents. The people around him began to realize that Buddy's appearance not only helped them feel happy, but also fostered a connection between them. Buddy not only helps residents feel happy, but also makes them feel more in love with life. In the afternoons, when the nursing home organizes light activities, everyone happily participates. Some of the old people started playing with Buddy. Some even prepared small cakes for Buddy to eat. And in those moments, they not only found joy in caring for the animal, but also felt the warmth spread in their hearts. The little pig becomes an integral part of the daily life of the nursing home, bringing liveliness and a playful atmosphere. What's special is that Buddy not only makes the elderly happy in the present moment, but also helps them realize that there are still lovely things in life, no matter how much time passes. The smiles, the old stories recounted, and the old memories revived made all feel comforted and understood. The little pig, with its cuteness and cheerful spirit, has created a noticeable change in the atmosphere of the nursing home, helping the elderly to regain the joy and meaning of life that they have long lost. The joy began to spread throughout the nursing home. Passing day, the atmosphere here changed more and more. Residents who were tired and no longer interested in anything now find joy in simple moments. In the mornings, when Buddy ran around the rooms, the old people no longer sat quietly in the corner, but instead, they began to wait for the arrival of the little pig. They happily waved Buddy closer, and then sat down and talked together about the old memories, about the days gone by, when they used to have such cute animals. This makes the atmosphere in the camp warmer and closer than ever. The staff of the nursing home also noticed a noticeable change. They could see that the old women and old men were no longer melancholy and tired, but instead smiles and happy stories were exchanged throughout the day. In the past, group activities such as watching movies, playing games or exercising were always absent, but now the people in the camp seem to have found motivation to participate again. One afternoon, the staff held a casual play session with Buddy, and to his surprise, everyone, from the elderly to the staff, joined in. The whole camp laughed and joked, and Buddy became the soul of the game, running around the old ladies and grandfathers, bringing a fun and energetic atmosphere. Not only is there joy in the activities, but change also appears in the relationships between residents. Old ladies and old men who rarely talk to each other now come to each other to share moments with Buddy. Gentle conversations, stories from youth, from old farms, from pets from the past are now told passionately, and people feel like they are no longer alone. The eyes that used to be bright and the smiles gradually returned to the elderly. That creates an atmosphere of solidarity and warmth, where everyone feels care, love, and understanding. Buddy has become an integral part of the nursing home life, not just as a pet, but as a true friend. Every day, as the little pig runs around the farm, the freshness and vitality it brings makes people forget about their worries and sadness. The residents no longer feel like they are marginalized people, but instead, they feel they still have a value, a purpose. The little pig made them realize that joy doesn't have to be big or far-fetched, but sometimes just a gentle caress there, an affectionate look, and a belief that life always has good things waiting for them. As the days go by, joy is not simply a momentary emotion, but a profound change in the way all residents in the nursing home see and perceive life. With the passage of time, a marked change began to exist in every resident of the nursing home. In the past, old women and men often lived in loneliness, a gloomy mood, and rarely participated in activities. Now they actively participate in exercise sessions, group conversations, and games. The atmosphere in the camp was no longer as quiet as before, but full of laughter, joyful voices, and excitement. Every morning, when Pig Buddy runs around the rooms, everyone not only smiles but also relaxes and happily welcomes him like a close friend. The change in the attitude and spirit of the residents took the nursing home staff by surprise. Those who used to struggle to encourage the elderly now find that it is enough to stand from a distance, watch the old men happily take care of and play with Buddy. They found that not only did their mental health improve, but they even became more active and healthier when participating in group activities, communicating, and caring for animals. This completely changed the atmosphere in the camp, making it lively and energetic. Buddy, the little pig, has become the soul of the nursing home, bringing a new breeze that everyone can feel. More than just an animal, Buddy has become a symbol of joy, hope, and love. This change not only helps the elderly residents live healthier, but also helps them feel that no matter how old they get, no matter what difficulties arise, life always has lovely and valuable moments. Small things can make big changes. Peaceful mornings in the nursing home are no longer monotonous days, but cherished moments, full of laughter and warmth from a little pig that has changed everyone's life.